Good evening and welcome to the March 12th meeting of the Beavercreek Parks, Recreation, and Culture Board. Hereby call this meeting to order, and we will start with the roll call, please.
Mr. Corbett.
Here.
Mrs. Meyer.
Here.
Mrs. Fulcher.
Here.
Mrs. Heaton.
Here.
Mr. Tips is not with us this evening.
Sorry, I'll start by correcting myself already. I was looking at the notes from last month. It is April 9th, not March the 12th. Off to a rousing start. Thank you, Jackie. We're going to begin with approval of the agenda, and obviously I haven't read the top of it. But when you're ready, I will accept a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor of the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
All right, unanimous. And then you also have in front of you a copy of the meeting minutes from March 12th. And I hope you had a second to look over those. If you need another, please take that. And when you're ready, I will accept a motion to accept those meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor of the minutes from March 12th, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, that also passes. So we'll move right into our division report, and Aaron, I believe, is bringing that this evening.
Good evening. Oh, well, on the same vein, I have March benefit up here, but it should be the April benefit of Parks and Recreation. Parks and Recreation programs and services contribute to the health of children, youth, adults, and seniors.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Aaron,
Yeah.
but you'd think that we would be in more of a hurry for April and spring to get here. I'm not sure why we're trying to stay in March. I don't know. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Aaron. Thanks.
This photo here is actually of a puppy who was at the summer kickoff in Kite Fly last year, which is coming up again in a few weeks on April 27th. So thought I'd feature a fun, the grass is green and it's looking like spring, getting ready for events. We haven't reported in a few months on senior center attendance, and these are attendance numbers from February. We've got plenty of people still coming to our lunches, fitness classes. We had 910 people attending fitness classes in February, and a total attendance of just shy of 5,500 people. So it's busy as ever over there. And our volunteer hours are still, of course, up just under 1,900, 1,892 and a half hours in February. So we've got lots of volunteers. We definitely could not do all that we do without them. So the photo there is from the St. Patrick's Day party, as you can see everyone all decked out in green. And in the next photo, there's a sighting of Elvis at the St. Patrick's Day party. He made a visit there. And that was on March 14th. We had 122 people attending. It was sold out. As you all are aware, that's the max we can get with tables and chairs and people in the Senior Center Great Room. And Elvis was there, as well as the world's tallest leprechaun, if you can believe it. We've got several upcoming events. We have an AARP driving class. This class is open to all people, but AARP members get a discounted rate, and then often your insurance company will give you a discount for participating in this class. The Easter Luncheon and Egg Scramble is coming up on April 18th. A Cinco de Mayo party a few days early on May 3rd. And also the Mothering Tea on May 10th to celebrate Mother's Day, all of our mothers. So if you want to sign up for any of these, make sure you either call or visit the Senior Center as soon as you can. All of these events are things that I know have sold out in the past, so make sure to reserve your spot. I wanted to follow up on some of the new programs that we had last talked about were coming up for March. One of those was our Intro to Swim lessons. We had that 3 Thursdays in March over at the Dayton Raiders Aquatic Center. We partnered with the Dayton Raiders Swim Academy to offer those. They were 3 separate sessions, so you could sign up your children for 1 session or for all 3 as kind of a preview, see if swim lessons are something you want to do, full sessions of or go further with. And those went off really well. Over the 3 weeks, we had 29 participants at the Intro to Swim lessons. So that's something we'll probably look to partner with them again on. And if people wanted to continue, then they could continue with Dayton Raiders Swim Academy to do additional lessons. We also had a new Challenge Island Kids Night Out. This one was Slime Lab. We had that a few Fridays ago at CI Beaver Hall. They did slime, experiments, and also had pizza. It was billed as kind of a, kids night out. Maybe the parents can have a night off. It was from 6 to 9 in the evening, and so we had 29 kids sign up for that too. Yeah. And we also had another program with the Beavercreek Library. This was one of our family nature programs. The overarching theme of each of these that we do quarterly is a component of read, explore, and create. And if you shorten that, it's REC. So on March 26th, we had that over at CI Beaver Hall and at CI Beaver Park. We had 19 children and 15 adults with them, and they did a turtle craft. We read turtle stories, and we went on a turtle search in the park. We didn't find any turtles that day. It was still pretty chilly. And you can see in the photo, the grass is brown. I bet it's green now, just a few weeks later. And then some upcoming new programs we have with Decoy Art Center. We've got 2 programs coming up that are acrylic pottery painting to paint a little, figurine. One is next week. We are still accepting signups for that. And the next one is a couple weeks after that. The first one, the kiddos will paint a frog. And the next one, they will paint a duck. So those we're going to hold at the Wartinger Park Barn, which is a new way. We haven't programmed at the barn before. So it'll still have a nature feel to the program. If it's nice weather, we can open the barn doors and really enjoy the park while we're doing the program. And then the same thing for the family canvas painting. This is open to families, and families can sign up to paint a canvas collaboratively together and do a park scene, or they can all enjoy painting their own canvas. So it's up to the family how they want to do that. Whether they'd like to teamwork together or just enjoy painting next to each other. So we're excited to offer those, and give us a call or go online if you want to get signed up. We also have a beginner archery clinic. This is on Saturday, May 18th. Big thanks to Candy, one of our park board members, who will be helping with that program. And we'll have it at Vergalito Park. We've got 2 sessions planned. We're accepting signups now, and we're excited to offer that again. These are introductory archery classes, so very much intro to the basics and safety and demonstrations. And then I am excited to announce that we have been awarded a grant for archery equipment. So from the Ohio Department of Natural Resources, in addition to the NASP, National Archery in the Schools program, has an equipment grant. So we'll be able to purchase our own equipment, and that'll really expand our opportunities for more archery in the future. So right now we're just in the process of waiting on those funds to arrive and being able to purchase that and go from there. Coming up is our specialty camps and our traditional summer day camp. The few big changes. The traditional camp has been at Rotary Park since it started a number of years ago, and we're moving it over to Fox Run Park and Fairbrook Elementary School. Those are right next to each other. And we're excited about this partnership with the schools. The facilities over there will add a lot more stability and safety to our program, with a building with 4 walls and a roof at camp. And also we'll still have the nature component and the outdoor play with the outdoor space both at the school and at the park. So we're very excited to move over there. And we'll also offer our specialty camp again, and this one will move different places. So several of the weeks will be over at Dominic Lafino Park, and we'll be utilizing the indoor space and actually the pool at Dayton Raiders Aquatic Center there. And then some of the weeks will be at Wartinger Park or CI Beaver Hall. So registration is open. We are offering early bird pricing up until May 1st. So if you know someone who's been waiting to register, make sure they register before May 1st. Otherwise, the price will go up. Several upcoming programs. You'll notice we have a lot going on April 27th. We have our Arbor Day Celebration, and the Tree Advisory Board is really taking the lead on this program and putting it on. But it'll be at Dominic Lafino Park at 2 o'clock on April 27th after the summer kickoff and Kite Fly. So come to that, stick around, and enjoy the Arbor Day ceremony. Before that, you'll want to get up early to go over to Perennial Trade Day at Rotary Park. Bring your plants to trade. The previewing starts at 9:30, and then the trading begins at 10. And this is something you do not want to be late for, or you will miss it. So after Perennial Trade Day and before the Arbor Day, come over to the summer kickoff and Kite Fly, also April 27th, from 11 to 2 over at the park at Dominic Lafino Park. It's for all ages. We'll have an inflatable. I want to say thank you to our sponsors, including Day Air Credit Union, O'Brien Orthodontics, the Green Optimist Club, and Mosaic Church. The Green Optimist Club will be bringing kites for the first 100 children to enjoy, and Mosaic Church will be grilling out hot dogs for us. So we're excited about that. I'm also accepting volunteers for that event as well. And then our fishing derby will be on Saturday, May 11th. We're moving this over to Dominic Lafino Park this year. It had been at Dominic Lafino Park for a while. The last 2 years we did it at Phillips Park, and it's going back to the big lake at Dominic Lafino Park this year. I am accepting volunteers for the fishing derby as well. And this is early in the morning. We start fishing at 8. We usually start registration a little bit before then. And then we're done by about 11:30. So thank you to McAfee Heating and Air, as well as the Ohio Division of Wildlife and the American Legion for sponsoring this event. And always the Friday before Memorial Day is our golf scramble. This is a fundraiser. The proceeds go to both the Beavercreek and Fairborn Parks and Recreation departments. Only $85, includes breakfast and lunch and all your golfing fun. So you can register as an individual and we'll put you on a foursome, or you can get a foursome registered. We also have sponsorship opportunities for the golf scramble and any of the other events I shared with you today. So sponsorship opportunities are right there. You can contact our office to learn more about those. And then I didn't make a slide for it, but I did want to share a staffing update. We have hired our new part-time recreation coordinator. So her name is Shauna Tibbs Sargent. And Shauna has been an instructor with us for senior center classes, for adult fitness, and for youth classes, kids classes, for a number of years. And so she's been on the instructor side, and a lot of her main responsibilities will be coordinating with those contracted instructors that we have. So she has a great perspective to bring to the other side of the table, and really understands, what the instructors need and also what the public wants from their classes, as she's been interacting directly with them, teaching those classes. So we are excited to have her. She just started this week. Yesterday was her first day, and she'll be part-time both over at our offices some days and at the senior center the other days. So, yeah.
Congratulations on the grant, and congratulations on Shauna. Would it be appropriate to invite her to a park board meeting at some point in the future so we could meet her? Cool. I mean, at her convenience or whatever fits the schedule, but we'd love to meet her. Absolutely. If we don't, you guys may have already have it.
I have not.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions for Erin? Thanks, Erin.
I do have.
Oh, no, oh.
I actually do have a question.
Sure.
So we've got the ribbon cutting coming up for Rotary Park.
Yes, we do.
You want to?
I think Kim is going to share with you about that.
Oh, okay.
But thank you for bringing up that important event coming up.
Yes.
Thank you, Erin.
All right.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you.
And now Kim's going to bring us the park reports.
Good evening. Yep, Eric was talking about the proclamation. You guys are stealing my thunder. Either that or you're going to start doing my report. Appreciate that. At least, you know, you're grabbing stuff that I've already actually put up there. When you start doing this, like, what about, I'm like, ugh. So at least I already got you covered. So good evening. Yep, I'm going to be presenting the Parks Report. April is Volunteer Month. So on March 25th, Mr. Corbett was kind enough to come out and accept the proclamation that the mayor read for volunteer recognition, or Volunteer Month. This is a nationwide thing, so we're always happy to recognize all the volunteers within the city of Beavercreek, and the mayor and council is certainly supporting that effort and reading a proclamation. So Eric, thank you again for coming out. Appreciate that. And so our volunteer recognition event is coming up, and no, that is not a typo. I did mean to type 2018 because we are recognizing our 2018 volunteers. So if anybody got a letter from us, all our volunteers, it was meant to say 2018 because it's now 19. You'll help continue to volunteer in 19, but so we're recognizing our 2018 volunteers. It's next Tuesday evening. If you haven't RSVP'd, you certainly have a couple days to do that. But this is the Park Board's opportunity, and of course the city council, to say thank you so much for everything that you've done. We keep hearing from our volunteers going, I don't need to be recognized, and that's okay, but you can still come out for some free food, enjoy, meet other people. We usually have a great time. We have some door prizes, so please come out and join us. Doors open at 6:30, and the program will start at 7. We promise we won't keep you too long. So, but then this is the group of volunteers that we recognized last year. So we had a great group of 9 from Youth Council, from the COPPs. We had somebody from Feed the Creek that helps out at our 4th of July event, Senior Center, and then of course our sports organization. So there are so many volunteers that does a lot through our community, not only for the Parks and Recreation Department, but for all the area youth groups, youth sports groups. So we thank you for that. If you haven't been to shop today, but over the next couple weeks, you'll notice that we are moving on a parking lot. Yes, so this will add 16 new spaces. I know the map is kind of awful. But right there is Meadow Bridge you come into, and then right in here is where an asphalt parking lot will be. So today they started tearing up the grass. They'll start with the stormwater and just make sure everything is connected, make sure we have proper drainage, and then I think next week is when they'll start laying asphalt. So certainly before summer, but here in the next couple weeks, we'll have a brand new parking lot. So we're really excited about that, and I'm sure the neighbors along Meadow Bridge are very excited for that also. So it took us a little bit, but we're finally there. So, and again, the playground continues to stay very active, and it's still a fantastic playground. I'm pretty pumped about it. Again, so we mentioned last month that we have 3 playgrounds that are going in. This Saturday, we are starting at Stafford Park. The group that we're purchasing the playground for is actually installing it also. Our staff will be at Stafford on Saturday, and we will remove the playground. So if you're in that neighborhood or know anybody in that neighborhood, our staff is coming in to take out that playground. On Monday, a group will come in and they will start doing concrete work, and we'll be pouring curb cutting all around where the playground's going to be. Leave an opening so we can get in. The playground pieces itself should get here late April, early May. As soon as that arrives, the crew will come in, install it, and it should be up within a couple days. They'll concrete it in, make sure everything's good, mulch it, and we're off and running. Once Stafford is done, our staff will go back to Seville, and that'll be the next one that we do. So we'll rip that one out, and again, that crew will come out, concrete, install, concrete, mulch, ready for play. And then Nutter's our last one. So we're probably looking at a couple months, but then all those 3 projects will be done. So really looking forward to that. And probably the most exciting thing about Stafford Park for the neighbors is, yes, the dinosaur is coming back. So prominent, no worries, dinosaur's coming back. I was kidding with Game Time, who we purchased. I'm like, really, just give me like 10 to 50 dinosaurs? And I think we'll be good. But we will have a whole play structure in there, too. Oh, yes, Miss Fulcher. On April 19th, we have our ribbon cutting for Rotary Park. We're going to do this at 4 o'clock. That Friday is Good Friday. So we're hoping that people come out, enjoy the afternoon. We'll do the ribbon cutting at 4 o'clock. I want to thank Beavercreek Township. They were the ones that kind of drove the grant in order to get the playground. Our staff worked very hard over the fall into the winter to get everything in the ground and mulch it. And we had it open through the winter, but then the Beavercreek Township Department came in and they finished all the grading. They ripped the old playground out, reseeded. Everything is complete. We've got a sign in the ground, and so now we're ready for April 19th. So come on out. We're going to just do a quickie ribbon cutting and then play. So good way to kick off an Easter weekend. And of course, I can't let another evening go by. On May 7th, we do have the city has 2 issues on the ballot, one being the parks levy, the other being the street levy. On the park side, again, it's a 0.9 mil renewal plus 0.3 mil increase, and this will be for a continuous period of time. This levy is pretty much what pays for our operations, maintenance. It accounts for over 55% of the revenue generated annually. So it is an increase. It's only $10.50 more than what you're paying now, but your total would be $42 per 100,000 of your property value. So if you have, an In Touch will be coming out here in the next few weeks. But if you have any questions about the levy, certainly you can reach out to our office. So, and of course, with the grass getting green, the grass growing, we are still looking for seasonal employees. So if you're looking for something really fun to do this summer, you want to be outside, you would prefer not to be inside, contact our office. You can contact our HR department or go online. We are hiring for parks maintenance, street maintenance, in the traffic division, and then certainly our, our camp counselors. So great place to work. It really is. And especially on the camp counselor side, it's a great opportunity if you are just thinking about working with kids. Be a camp counselor, and you will either decide that that's not for me, or, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I want to do with my life. So it's fun. You get to be outside, wear a shorts, t-shirt, and play with kids all summer long. So it's a good place. And then, of course, within the maintenance side, it's mostly, cutting grass, weeding, and all that. But again, shorts, pants, t-shirt, but you get to be outside. So, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Anybody have any questions for Kim? I don't think I'd read a bunch of notes, but I don't think I do have any questions.
Very good.
Thanks, Kim. And that does move us into old business, and a nice segue. Kim mentioned specifically our volunteer recognition event coming up next Tuesday, 16th at the Beavercreek Golf Club. We're excited to have that event, and we hope that if you haven't RSVP'd, you do quickly so we can recognize as many volunteers as we can. Again, thankful to the council for recognizing and proclaiming April Volunteer Month. I had a nice quote that night that I found, anonymous quote that I thought was pretty cool, that I'll share with you guys as well today. It said, "Volunteering is a true demonstration of democracy. We vote each year in local or national elections, but when you volunteer, you vote every day about the kind of community that you want to live in." And I'm very thankful that so many people choose to vote to have a nice community here in Beavercreek each year. We want to show that appreciation next week. All the time, but especially next week. A couple other things, volunteer opportunities. Aaron, you've already mentioned the Kite Fly on the 27th of April and the Fishing Derby on May the 11th. Anything else you want to add to that list?
We are participating in a Beavercreek Schools Family Fun Day on Sunday, May 5th. I think that's a Sunday. We don't know exactly all the details.
I believe I know it's the afternoon that day. And we'll certainly keep you updated about.
Did you say where, is that at Rotary? Rotary,
We
did you say where that
don't,
was?
it
I'm
was
sorry.
at Rotary last year, but I don't know that we know where it is this year. Oh, Candy knows where it
So
is.
the Family Fun Day is the 5th of May from noon to 4 at the high school. It'll be outside if it's nice and inside if it rains.
Thank you.
And I'm assuming we'll do something similar, just have a table for the department, okay?
Yep.
So you could use help from the board, staffing the table?
Sure
Answering
could.
questions, cool. That it? All right, thank you. And then park levy, again, want to mention that. Encourage everybody to come out and vote on May the 7th. Support the parks. I mean, it's an important piece to help us to be able to keep the great resources that we have. Anybody got anything else on old business? Which moves us to new business, and I'm not aware of any tonight. Oh, which brings us to unscheduled visitors, and we do have a visitor here in our audience tonight, and we're happy to hear what you want to share with us. So please feel free to approach the mic. Please introduce yourself, and we'd be happy to hear from you.
Hi, I'm Steve Hildenbrand. And there's an issue that I'm trying to raise, not just with the Beavercreek parks, but the Greene County parks and the Beavercreek Township parks, and that's access at night without getting in trouble. For the purposes of, I'll call it just stargazing, though it's a little more complicated than that because I carry 30 or 40 pounds of equipment out when I go. But light pollution is a problem. The city of Dayton causes a sky glow that basically obscures over 40% of the sky at night from as far east as John Bryant Park, which is where I normally go because we have access to the Miami Valley Astronomical Society has access to the facility out there after hours. But sometimes it'd be nice just to grab the binoculars, grab the chair, grab a small telescope, and zip up into a park closer so that you're not surrounded by the street lights, the people's lights out in front of their houses. My neighbors, I've talked to all of them, and they let me put paper bags over their light posts. Some of them do, some of them don't. But I can't do anything about the lights that are on the side of the house. So basically, the front yard is off limits for stargazing. The backyard, people have got these security lights in the backyards for absolutely no reason. Did I say that out loud?
Security?
Well, I could go into the issue of security, and for every study you say where it increases security, I can bring you 3 studies that where say it does not increase security at all. So basically, I just am trying to get access to the Beavercreek parks after dark, 2 o'clock in the morning. The heavens rotate, so kind of what I'm looking for varies. For a simple purpose of sitting with a pair of binoculars or a small telescope and looking at things.
Is there a particular park or parks that you have in mind that are better or less light polluted?
There is no area that is not subject to the light pollution. As I said, Dayton
Is there any that's better than
obscures
others?
everything. I'm just trying to get away from street lights and housing
Right.
lights. And any number of them. Rotary Park is one. You get in the square of Rotary Park, you're a little bit further away from the street lights and the other lights. Carroll, which I think is a Greene County park, not a
Yep.
Beavercreek Park, which I don't quite understand, seeing as how it's smack in the middle. Edinburgh Park, which I don't even know if is a park.
Is that Bull Run?
Bull Run, yes, I think Bull Run's the name for it.
Bullskin Run? Yep.
There's an area in there that I would like to see what it's like after dark. I haven't done it yet because I want to be compliant. But any park that has a large open expanse that does not have lights already integrated into the park. And then I'd also say, please don't put lights into the park because they're not generally needed for the daytime activities. And if you are doing nighttime activities, need lights, understand. But when the activity is over, shut the lights off.
What, and you just said after dark, right? Your night, is there a particular time frame? Could it go past midnight?
It could easily go past midnight because
Okay.
the heavens rotate
Right.
and the seasons change. So for instance, what I want to look at now is in the Sagittarius area. I need it 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning. That will vary over the course of the year when I'm looking at certain things. So it's basically all night long sometimes.
Okay. What, Go ahead.
So Steve, is this just you or do you have a group?
Well, it's just me. I'd be
Okay.
happy to invite a group out because I will ask you, how many of you have seen the Milky Way? How many of you really have seen the Milky Way?
Just in photos.
With
right?
the
Yeah.
with the dust lanes.
Yeah.
Okay, you've seen the Milky Way. I saw you kind of raise your hand. Have you seen the Andromeda Galaxy? Do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
I don't believe so.
Okay, you can see the Andromeda Galaxy naked eye. There's something up there that's 5 times the diameter of the full moon,
Yeah.
but you can't see it because of the light pollution. But you go to, well, the western half of the country, go out and get away from the lights, and you're going to look up at the sky and you're going to go, oh my goodness, what is that? Because there's so much up there.
Where did all that
but we
come
can't
from?
see it.
Right.
And this generation has lost the connection to the starry skies. So I'm just looking for access after hours.
I don't recall off the top of my head, do we have posted rules or hours on
Park
the parks?
closes at dusk.
Close at dusk, yeah, that's what I assumed, unless there's programming going on.
Unless
Like
there's
in Rotary,
programming
right?
going on, and then we work with the police and just say, hey, so this is going on. So I'm happy to reach out to the police and just see if there's something that we can do. So if you know you're going to be out there, like,
Maybe it's a matter of schedule.
and I don't know if it's something like, it's 10 o'clock on a Tuesday, it sounds like a great time, I want to go out, or it's like, well, you know what, next week I want to hit Rotary Park on Wednesday.
Okay, the issue is the weather in Ohio is less than ideal for stargazing. So sometimes it's like, oh, it's clear tonight, I'm going out. And driving out to John Bryant, at 11 o'clock at night, it'd be easier just to walk into Crowell Park.
Oh, sure.
Just a block away.
Yeah.
So it's unpredictable because it's based on the weather. I will admit I'm retired. Oh, I just joined the senior center. It's really cool.
Oh, thank you for that.
All right.
So
Patron.
I'm not constrained. Now,
Right.
if you're talking about events, if you have an event you wanted to have on like the first, like a new moon, because you don't want the moon up either, because that's also kind of interferes with certain things. But I could help with an event.
Yeah,
I
that's a cool
also
idea.
have access to about 200 people in the Miami Valley Astronomical Society that occasionally help with things. This Thursday, we're going to a school on Whip Road, which is not the ideal location for doing a stargaze, but we go out and do stargazes like this on a fairly frequent basis. So I could probably wrangle some other activities. But primarily it's just like that closes the dusk is kind of making this law-abiding citizen sad.
I got you. Well, we can tell you have a passion for this, Steve, and I certainly appreciate that. I have a couple thoughts, and I'm sure we or Kim or both would need to do some homework before we could give you an answer tonight. But it sounds like something scheduled would be much simpler and cleaner, but realizing the challenges of the weather with that, I hope we're at least open to some conversations about how we might be able to solve that. And I think a programming collaboration is a great idea. You talk about folks, being disconnected, and what a great opportunity to start to reconnect them, or maybe we can help, here in the community. So I guess what I would ask is a little time for Kim to chat with the police and us to talk about it. We need some contact information from you.
Sharon knows how to get
Sharon's got you. Okay, good. Oh, good. So
But
we can do that.
I'll be happy to give you contact information
Okay.
too. And again, I'm introducing the concept,
Yeah.
the thought, because it's another use for the parks, which you can add to your agenda. Again, scheduling is difficult, but springtime, summer, weather's pretty good. Late summer, not so good because of the thunderstorms. I don't go stargazing in thunderstorms. But it's something to think about, and
Okay.
see what's out
So have you talked to anybody in Greene County yet?
I just went into the offices on Ledbetter,
Yep.
and they said they're not really opposed to me going out there. It says closes at dusk, but the basic unstated premise is that if you're not going out there for any malicious intent, it's okay.
It'd be more
I'd rather
comforting.
have it codified that it's okay.
Right. You'd rather not be worried the whole time if somebody's going to ask you what you're doing.
So that's
I
why
gotcha.
that was talking to 2 people in the office. I actually
Okay.
need to talk to your equivalent at the county level,
Right.
and then find the township level as well.
Okay.
Because I like the parks. I use the parks. I do a lot of hiking, not just the Greene County parks and the Beavercreek little parks and the metro parks. So I'm out there in the parks a lot. I keep thinking, oh, this would be a great place for stargaze.
Gotcha. Do you, with us maintaining most of the old township parks now, is there a need for him to speak to anybody at the township?
No, because the only one I say the only one left, so it's the Beavercreek Township Park District. We're operating and maintaining their 2 parks. But I'm happy to reach out to them, because again, for those, the city police would be monitoring those. So I think we can kind of handle both the city of Beavercreek and then the park district. But I'm happy to reach back out to you and see if we can get something to work.
Okay,
So, but yeah, no, I think it's really cool.
just something to think about.
Oh, absolutely, and I appreciate you coming out and sharing all that with us.
Well, I tried to make the last meeting, but something came up. I think I went out to John Bryan, so.
It was a good night for
nice weather,
stargazing.
right?
Okay, thank you for your time.
No, thank
Yep.
you very much. We
Thank you.
appreciate it. Have a good night. All right. This leads us back to, now to action items, and really the only action items I have are related to the volunteer event coming up. We all kind of have some things to do to finalize our food numbers, dessert, script and nominations, those kinds of things. So we all know our tasks to prepare for that. Does anybody have anything that I'm forgetting on action items other than responding to Steve here? Cool. And finally, board time. So we'll start, how about with you, Sharon? Do you have anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, I would encourage everybody to come out to the ribbon cutting. That park has made a big difference, as well as if you haven't been to any of the parks, to the new playgrounds that have been done in the last few years, you need to go, because they're worth going to. A lot of fun.
Thanks, Sharon. Candy?
I hope we start some stargazing classes or have a night that we can rope you into giving an educational seminar or something out in the park. I think that would be really cool. So I would like that. But on the Owens Place side, this coming Saturday, they'll have their Easter egg hunt for families with any special needs child and their siblings. The egg hunt is from 11 to 1 with registration at 10:30, and they'll have games and other things there as well. The restrooms have been placed in next to Owens Place. They're there, but they are not hooked up with water yet. We're hoping mid-May. I think there's just some issues that have to be resolved before they can actually be open. So don't get excited when you see them, because they're not open. And the other thing is yesterday they installed all the musical instruments on the walkway in the woods. So once the
Nice.
concrete sets, I think it's a couple more days, by this weekend for sure, they should be all ready to go out and play the instruments on that little walkway, and they look really, really
They actually
exciting.
have pictures of them on Facebook.
Yes, yeah,
So-
they're really
Nice.
neat. And they're all different sizes, so all different size, even toddlers, everybody can use them, and so it should be a fun time. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Candy. Christine?
I just wanted to say I'm so excited about the partnerships between the city and businesses and schools in the community. I think that's a great way to bring everyone together. So thank you for your efforts.
Yeah, the only thing I'll add is, we have talked from time to time about the Beavercreek Community Fund. Did want you to know that that is on the move now. We have a board, I think, in place, and we're starting to reach out to other organizations for more representation as we start to move towards actually requesting ideas for funding projects. So, actually making some movement, and appreciate Kim's leadership and kind of lighting a fire under some of us to move forward. And then I'm hopeful that we'll hear about the master plan soon. Should we have a meeting? I think it should be coming up soon. I don't know if you, off the top of your head, sorry, I don't want to put you on the spot, but
Well, that's all right.
Just don't wanna forget about
I'm
it.
used to the pressure. Appreciate it.
what's going on? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, now you're just being a bully. So next week, Tom O'Rourke, he's been a Parks and Recreation director. He's been in the field for many, many years. But he is kind of one of the consultants for Brandstetter Carroll. He's going to be on site next Monday and Tuesday, and this is kind of one of the final phases that he's going to be working with the staff, talking about programming. And one of the things I'm really excited about is he has taught at a revenue school, and so he's kind of that whole, like, how do you get some of that cost recovery stuff back? Along with that, you know, kind of like the business plan type of deal, like how we move our division forward. So he'll be out here Monday, Tuesday, and then I would think after that, then we'll be looking at another steering committee and be wrapping this up here in the next couple months. So.
Nice. That's exciting. I know those of us who were at the last meeting were pretty excited about some of the ideas that they had garnered from the community. So looking forward to that. And then I do have one more question. How's the new registration website going?
It's fantastic.
Oh, awesome. Good.
It really is. And that's just from me, like the inside user. I don't know how it's working on the public side, but it's so nice to be able to, I would think from the public side, to say, you know, call up Jackie and say, so is Rotary Park available? Nope. Okay, how about this one? How about this one? Instead of calling Jackie, and she's happy to answer all those questions.
Always.
But if you call at 5:05, 5:30, now you have to wait till the next day. Well, just go online, and you can see any of the shelters open. You can register for classes. You can register. It's very, very, very user-friendly.
Great.
So you know, Jackie and Aaron can certainly speak to it, but I think it's fantastic.
Great. Glad to hear that. Thank you. That's all I have. Unless anybody else has something they'd like to share at the end, I'd accept a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right. All in favor of adjourning? Aye. Aye. All right. Meeting adjourned.